Whenever I look forward to a film, it is because of either an actor, story, sometimes the action. But in this film, I remember seeing some stills. There was lots of snow, and there was Ajay sir with this big jacket. And I said, boss, ye to dekhna lagega. Then when I saw the first look, it was just one of those motion posters. I said, boss, ye to dekhna hi hai. Then the motion poster came out. I said, boss, ye to dekhna hai. Phir jab trailer likhni, I said, boss, this is taking it to a new level. And Ajay Devgn really has smashed every level that exists in Bollywood. Sir, thank you so much for joining me.
Thank you so much.
हर एक मोड़ पर, हर एक level पर, it seemed like, even when you were reading stories about how you wanted the very best that was possible, no matter how expensive it got, no matter how many times you had to reschedule, this was like a magnum opus project. I know the world asked you this question that you want to do it, and direction and acting and being part of the production. Is it not a headache?
It's not at all. I mean, I love it. And it's actually not very tough. It's a lot of hard work.
And a lot of pre-production.
A lot of pre-production, yes. And hard work. I am easy with the technicalities, so that doesn't take me too much time. But of course, I mean, it was something which we really wanted to make and wanted to be proud of as an Indian, not just me as a person, that we can also make films at that scale and prove our point. We have people, we have technicians, we have the stuff to do it.
Did you ever feel that a lot of directors say this also, when they want to make a film, मुझे बस ये vision चाहिए, no matter how much it costs to get this vision.
No,
is that for you?
No, it doesn't work for me. If you go to see, the film is not made on a kind of a budget which is very tough. It's a normal budget film. It's not a film where the budget is spilling over and putting pressure on the markets and distributors and things like this. Like every other film is sold, the budget is the same. But there's a difference. I'm giving you an example. Like you make a film and you have a budget of 10 crores.
Correct.
So what happens is 5 crores go in, casting, direction, all that. In this, I have put everything in the film.
9.5 has gone in the film.
Yeah, all 10. All 10. Not even a penny saved. Or as an actor, producer, or director, or anything. So when you put everything in the film instead of keeping your cut, obviously the scale becomes big. Yeah. But at the same time, it is not that okay, I'll do anything to make this film and go to budgets. You have to be sensible enough to make it. You have to have that people who buy the film should be able to recover. And that is what has happened with this film.
You've always been an independent behemoth in this industry. Every time, and it's been 5 or 6 years now, whether it's a Drishyam, whether it's a Singham, whether it's your Golmaal series. I've seen public when they said, "Arey, picture chalegi because Ajay sir kya acting karenge." Kai baar, it's not a burden. People like it. So sometimes, do you gauge the audience? Do you go out there to the audience? आप मेरे को और अलग कौन से अंदाज में देखना चाहते हो?
No, I don't gauge. I really don't gauge that. I go by my heart. But definitely, ये एक barometer तो रहता है कि यार you have to do better than what you did earlier. So और जब तक वो नहीं रहेगा, there's no fun. I mean, then there's no point working. You should quit. So that's what. And when you talk about performance, this is a very strong performance-oriented film. Not just my performance I talk about all the other actors, and I can vouch for it. When you see the film, you can honestly come and tell me that have you seen performances like this ever?
I saw an action sequence and I said, I have never seen action like this in an Indian film. Were you also saying, wow? This is the post, yeah. But when you're shooting it, so you've gone and jumped over that car, then you come and sat down over there and you've seen the monitor. And you've seen in playback, obviously. So did you also go wow then and you say यार मैं कुछ कर पाऊंगा? I think I'll be.
नहीं, हर बार ये होता था कि चलो एक बार और better करते. So that wow factor was not there because it was all in my head and I had already visualized it. तो जब भी आप visualize करते हो फिर आप monitor पे आके देखते हो and you imagine कि जैसा सोचा वैसा आया, correct? Okay, fine, let's move on.
So it's more like an edit that was happening in your head while you were shooting it.
Yeah.
So are you able to do that dual role of a director and be objective about your own performance?
Yes, I can. Because anyways I perform according to the character. I just feel it and I do it. So and when you're writing yourself with the writer and you have that certain kind of look and performance in your film, it gets a lot more easier, I feel. So yeah, I was quite. In fact, I was more critical, I would say.
You know, when SHIVAAY first came out, ek to Shiva as a god in India is the god of power, god of destruction, the god of muscle, the god of real. Were you a big fan of deities when you were young? You know, as a bacha, were you somebody?
As a child, I'm a Shiv Bhakt. So that's always been in me. I don't know. I don't even remember since when. But that is not just the reason to make this film. Yeah, but I was very fascinated with Shiva because I always felt that, you know, all the other gods are perfect. You know, when you read stories about them and you...
Shiva has a little bit of...
He's very human.
Yeah.
He's got these... he's got a lot of minuses in him, which he has converted them into a plus. He, if you see, like a normal human being, he intoxicates. You've read about him being simple. You've read about him being fooled. You've read about him getting wild and destroying things, and then realizing his mistakes, and then come. So, all the imperfections of a human being is in Lord Shiva. And I just felt, that is why I feel that today's world also connects more with him. You see all the youth, in the youth. I think you know, when you hear trance also, it's all about this.
The bum bum bole, when I remember growing up also, this was bum 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 bum. It used to always come, you know. So even as somebody who was not such a God-fearing person or not such a, you know, I wasn't somebody who used to go to temples a lot. But Lord Shiva I always knew. Because even in Doordarshan par bhi, he was never shown like that. Baki sabko alag se dikhaya jata.
Interesting character. Very real, very human.
Correct.
So it's not basically a religious film. It's a character who's called SHIVAAY, and his
journey.
It's his journey, is all those imperfections, how he uses them to, you know, protect his relationships. And you know, make all his imperfections into his strength.
The first time we saw Ajay Devgn sir doing action, that was many years ago. That time the splits were there, the bikes were there. Today the splits are still there, but the cars have come in and now he's jumping back and forth. We'll talk about this. It's taken a toll also. It can be very difficult. So today I want to try and inspire the youth. You all keep talking about, yaar, abhi ye ho nahi raha hai. This man has directed, has acted, produced, written the script, giving interviews, and involved in all the action as well. And you know, I've seen actually him more involved than ever, obviously, because on set also he had to be involved, being director, producer, actor. Was there ever a thought कि मैं शायद एक department छोड़ दूंगा? या फिर पहले से ही plan था कि सारे department?
Technically, production department मैंने इतना नहीं संभाला. I mean, I just.
Yes, Kajol was also very involved.
No, apart from that, I have a good team. So I didn't take that burden. But apart from that, as I said, technically, I mean, things come easily to me. So that was not a burden. Yeah, it was, like I said, hard work. मैं interview कर रहा हूँ. So I've scheduled my days in such a way. At 9 o'clock in the morning, I go for background music. Then from 12 to 4, I'm doing interviews. Now I'll go for DI in the evening. And then, you know, premix in the night. So it's
So will you ever
just
just act in a film?
Yeah.
खाली तो नहीं लगेगा?
अरे नहीं. That'll be like rest.
But this was, I know a lot of people ask this question, but a lot of people say that acting बहुत easy है. Main काम तो direction होता है. Would you
ऐसा नहीं है, हर चीज़ अपनी जगह पे होती है, हर चीज़ डिफिकल्ट होती है. आई थिंक बहुत मुश्किल होता है परफॉर्म करना भी और बहुत मुश्किल होता है डायरेक्ट करना भी. तो आई थिंक इट डिपेंड्स ऑन व्हाट कम्स ईजियर टू यू, बट यू कांट कंपेयर.
When your first film came out, there was so much of action that was there. Lots of action has always been there over the years. And in the last 4 or 5 years, your new avatar has been that also of, I would say, like a Shiva. You have been like that, you know. Sometimes you've been alone in the industry also. You've fought back, you've won. Box office numbers have spoken for themselves. So has that also been how you've become also like this big destroyer and you'll stand alone, no problem?
No, I don't want to destroy anybody.
But you've had isolations also.
Means, I mean, of course you need the support and you have the support of the industry with you, but not the kind of a person who will pick up a call and ask for support without, you know, unnecessarily. That's not into me. So that's why maybe you feel that I stand alone, but I'm sure that everybody here is there to support each other.
When this film did come out, Did you also plan physicality a lot also? क्योंकि इतना action अगर होने वाला है तो आपका वो schedule रहता है क्योंकि इतना जो काम कर रहे हो मेरे को समझ नहीं आ रहा आप जिम कहाँ जा रहे हो?
और जब से शूटिंग खत्म हुई है अब 5 महीने हो गए तब से मैं जिम जा ही नहीं पाया हूँ because I've been working day night.
Do you miss the gym but?
Of course, I'm dying to get back, but till the end of the release, I won't. I think I've lost muscle. I've lost.
So what was an ideal day like during शिवाय? उस समय तो आप एक्टिंग कर रहे थे तो आपको
जब shooting
हाँ शूटिंग के दौरान
start early in the morning by around 7, finish by around sometimes 6, sometimes 7, back to the office till 10, 10:30, 11.
My God. Even जब आप abroad shoot कर रहे थे तभी भी?
हाँ तब shooting timing कम थे because we used to start at something about 9, but सुबह 7 बजे निकल जाते थे और 4 बजे तक shooting होती थी because sunset हो जाता था.
Correct.
But then after that we had planning, we had other things, we had locations, so रात के 11-12 बज ही जाते.
तो you're not one of those actors at all जो जगह घूम के आ जाते हैं क्योंकि टाइम ही नहीं
इस फिल्म में तो बिल्कुल नहीं.
But वैसे as an actor are you able to switch off after the shoot is over?
Yeah, during the shoot is over I switch off.
नहीं, but that is outside the scenes, not during the scene, of course. That is outside the scenes.
When I know the film is not working well, so I switch off in the scene also.
But your selection of films has become very interesting in the last 4 or 5. You've taken risks also. I remember when you were doing Drishyam, that was a big risk also that you took, and that was a turnaround film also. Now are you more careful about what you say yes to also?
If you're saying that I'm careful about
Because those
not taking risks anymore.
No, you're taking risks also, but commercially also you make sure that they're right. So your films are doing well and getting
I
appreciated.
don't know. You can never be right. You know, you can never be right. You try to be right, but you can never be right. I generally, I think I follow my heart. If I feel like doing something, I go ahead and do it. If I don't feel like, I don't do it. So there is not a lot of calculation in it.
Really?
No.
Is there any sounding board at home? Is Kajol a sounding board sometimes?
When I'm very confused, maybe. Otherwise, we don't even discuss work.
You are two of the most funnest couples that I've seen. If a spade is a spade, if it's black, it's black, if it's white, it's white, which is very rare in the Bollywood industry. You know, how has that stayed so constant for so many years?
I think that's kept us grounded, and I think it's her upbringing also. It's my upbringing also. So we stay grounded, and you know, there's a reality check all the time amongst ourselves itself. So that works very well, I guess.
As a couple, like I said, sometimes it's scary. I get more scared sometimes to meet Kajol because I'm wondering, should I say the right thing or not? I remember last time when I met her, I said she can really take off at times. So who is the boss when the two of you all are discussing, say, a film like your own production? Is it only you?
No, there are departments. When we're talking about production, yeah, of course, I take the calls. There are certain calls she takes at homes. There are certain calls I take at home. And then we don't interfere into each other's work.
Wow, and no wonder the products are perfect. Do you remember, are you a person who remembers dates and all very well? Do you remember your first car?
Terrible. First car as in you talk about...
in your life that you bought after you became an actor?
After I became an actor. Let me think. I think at that point of time it was... yeah, it was which was never in India. It was that sports model.
So is cars your thing? I know you got a lovely fleet.
Was, I would say.
Was.
Nowadays I just need comfort, so whichever is the most comfortable car, I use that.
So what is your thing? No watches, clothes, this, that, कुछ तो होगा ही. हर एक आदमी की कुछ ना कुछ ख्वाहिशें होती है as far as material gifts are concerned.
No, I like shoes, I like watches.
Yeah.
But since the past couple of years, I'm not even thinking about it. It's just...
We'll have to wait for Shivai to finish.
Yeah, I know.
Now,
that's what my family also says and my kids also say.
That's what I was going to come to. Your daughter's really grown.
Yeah.
And so, you know, you've been at home also. You're one of those dads who's very busy also, but makes time for your children as well.
Yeah, but since the past 1.5 years, that's not been the case. I've been too occupied. I've been working on Sundays also. Yeah, they are complaining, but they do understand, and they're just hoping that the film releases soon.
Do they bring their virgin view across also for films? Do you ever show them something?
Oh yes, my daughter does. Even Kajal does. My son is too small.
Yeah, of course.
But yeah, Nissa is very critical about everything. And
what did she say when she saw the trailer?
She loved it. Yeah. She loved it. She loved it. She loved the songs. But usually, I mean, in the other films also, she gets very critical and she says like, okay, this is very boring, or, you know, you're not wearing the right clothes, and blah blah blah. And I ask her, why do you feel like that? How do you know? And she says, Pop, you're old and I'm young.
Just know.
That's the difference. So yeah, they just know, and you know, they become your support system, in the sense to upgrade you to what's happening in the world. Yeah, when I was making music of this film also, I used to, do a scratch and just at home I used to bounce it off Nissa. And she was like, okay, I'll give you some samples. And she used to make me some music. See, this is the zone today, it's working.
Wow.
We're working.
Does she have an inkling towards this side then?
No, not really.
No?
But every child today is so smart and they're
Yeah,
so
that's
connected. And, they know what works and what they understand each other's minds. So if you try to understand their mind, you upgrade yourself. So many things I don't know, which she tells me about and upgrades me. So I think we all need to get upgraded, otherwise we'll be lost behind.
Yeah. So we're trying now with Facebook Live as well.
Exactly.
As a dad, are you protective? Are you the kind of person knowing that I'm Ajay Devgn? So
No,
that does she know?
of course
So you have to be a little bit careful. Are you?
Yes, you need to be careful, and but still give them the space.
When did they realize that you are Ajay Devgn?
My son does realize already.
Yeah?
And Nissa started realizing when she was 4 or 5.
Yeah.
So
And has she enjoyed it also ever? Does she have favorites? Are you her favorite? Let's put it this way.
I'll have to ask her.
But like I said, it's very difficult to do this multitasking, and I think we all need to keep doing it. But there's a first that a lot of people did actually ask. There's a kiss also here, sir. As a director, was it strange to sit back and look back and say, oh, I know as an actor,
if you see it, if you see it, there would be a reason I did it.
Yeah, of course.
And when you see the film, you'll know that. And it is done, and you come to know the intention when you watch it, that how it has been done, and there's a reason behind it, and it has been done very aesthetically, not to just create curiosity or anything. You see, it's hardly seen also, but it's done. So there's always a reason behind it. I mean, when somebody asks you to do something and you think this is not the requirement, this is just for the heck of it, then you refuse to do it. But when it is required, as in the script, yes, you go ahead and do it.
There's a crazy amount of online support that you've been getting. You've been active also of late, but what I've seen is also even on my Twitter timelines, and I think the public opinion for you has really become very strong, especially with SHIVAAY. Are you somebody who interacts a lot online or keeps track of what's going on?
Not too much, but yes, I've started doing that.
Yes.
I've started doing that. I have been in touch with the social media a little more often than I used to be. And I'm seeing that support, and I'm very happy and I'm very thankful to everybody because that is what we work for, and that is without their support,
I know you had one of your pillars, Parag, who's been with you for many years. Yeah. I think he's been trying to convince you to do far more socially active work, and now I think it's finally paying dividends. So well done, Parag. You managed to get her to be a little more socially active. Now, before we go, if you had to pick the one toughest zone during shoot that you faced.
Oh, the temperatures.
Temperatures.
The locations, because...
And you did delay shoot also because you wanted it perfect also in between, right?
Yeah. So I shot in minus 20, minus 25 degrees, and hats off and thanks to my whole unit. I mean, there was no place to sit down. There was no place to eat food. We were eating cold food. We were shooting, and you
minus 25.
No, you have no idea what minus 20 and minus 25 are.
In Mumbai, if it's 10, people say, it's really cold.
Yeah. And once I got hypothermia, but the doctors on the set, there was always an ambulance and doctor on the set, and the doctor said, you can't work for a couple of days. And I was like, get lost. And I just got up and I just, within 20 minutes, started working. So, okay, it was my film, my passion. But they made it their film. And the way they have worked hard in this film, that is why I've been able to achieve what I've achieved.
And that shows pretty much in the trailer. So thank you so much for joining me.
Thank you.
Bye-bye on Facebook. I'll see you soon.
Bye-bye.
And bye-bye on Star Stop also. Remember, you can catch this online as well. We're going to be posting that as well. And like I said, it's all one large family now, the digital world. And we'll be able to see this. SHIVAAY releases this Diwali. We're looking forward to it. You're going to be waiting with the numbers also. You know your numbers well also, right? Before and after, all the figures as far as your theatres are concerned and all that. You have those figures in mind also, do you?
Yes.
And do you think by your predictions, it should all work out well? You have a certain idea.
I think so.
Yeah?
I think so. I think I know the product, so I can be decently confident.
Superb. So am I, sir. Take care and bye-bye and see you soon.